This dude, man, we got some people in our community, man, that'll go great lengths, man, to get on them folks' side. And unfortunately, we got Officer Tatum to do the job for us. This dude then went out, did an interview with Warren. Now, isn't that strange? Warren can sit up here and go do an interview with Officer Warren, I mean, with Officer Tatum, but couldn't speak up on your friend. Very interesting. We're going to get right into it. Let's not waste no time. Y'all go ahead and smash the like and all of that on your way in the dough. But come on, let's go.
Went out to Horn Island. So I've had an opportunity to talk to you about a few things. And the things that you've told me have literally blown my mind. But the world haven't had a chance yet to hear your story, to hear Nolan's story through you, through his friend. And it's not just you, it's a bunch of y'all. But, you know, some of the other guys were afraid because of the threats and the violence that's been threatened against their lives and all of the above. But you decided that you wanted to take this bold step and give us.
I'm sorry, I ain't gonna be able to let that go. Ain't nobody been threatening their damn life. That has not been happening. You can stop with the shenanigans. Everybody looking at y'all like y'all funny devils for talking this friend left my friend behind. I don't know what happened. I done cut off my social media crap. But they ain't getting no death threats. I don't even want to hear that.
Statement and, you know, get your side out here. And I want to start at the very beginning of all of this and ask you, what was your relationship like with Nolan? Who was he to you?
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college. You know, we talked on the phone all the time. We were really close friends. And I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. And
lies. This is straight lies. You don't do your brother like that, man. Get out of here, dude. I am not hearing any sort of bit of that. This is going to be 17 minutes of bullshit. Because that's lies. That's straight lies. You don't treat somebody who's like your brother like that.
Nolan lit up every room he walked in. He always had a smile on his face. He always had something good.
Man, if you don't look at that horse chin, I don't want to get demonetized, man. If you look at this Drago jaw, this horses of course, chin ass. Man, come on. What's up, pretty girl? Yes. How did they get death threats if they shut their social medias down? What they doing? Calling them on the phone? Riding by their crib? You ain't nobody threatening your life in your little white enclave in Mississippi. Not none of the folks in your town. They probably giving you high fives and that kind of thing. Stop it, bro. He lit up every room. I don't want to hear that crap.
Good to say. I've never seen Nolan get in an argument with somebody and say bad things about someone. You know, there's a lot of people that talk crap nowadays, and Nolan was never that person. Sweetest soul ever. And I mean, I had a great relationship with Nolan. I've never.
If he was so sweet, then why you serve him up to get killed then? What you mean he was so sweet? If he was so sweet, why ain't you go back to make sure he had his phone then on a desert island then? Huh? But y'all that rode around to all of these other places and did hop, skipping and jumps, parties and darties and all of that. Man, come on, bro. And then it's not lost on me that you go sit down with this nigga. Out of all the people you can go sit down with, you go sit down with this nigga? I would have been cool if Nancy Grace would have got the interview. Real talk. You go sit down with this nigga? That tell you what they own. That tells you what they own right there. This is the kind of stuff they're watching. This, the Hodge twins, Candace Owens, probably loves Jesse Lee Peterson, his brother in Christ. Man, you go sit down with the biggest flying raccoon of them all. This is ridiculous.
Never got in an argument with Nolan. We were super close, and I've never said or will ever have anything bad to say about Nolan Wells.
Yeah, and
it ain't about what you say, it's about what you do, homeboy. You didn't do none of the friend stuff July 4th, July 5th, July 6th. You wasn't a friend then. You ain't been a friend this whole 2 weeks. Where has your friendship been this whole 2 weeks? And you say he's covering the truth. He ain't even said no truth yet. Nigga, tell me why you ain't go back and give your homeboy his phone. Where's your tears at for the nigga you grew up with? Shouldn't you be getting choked up thinking about your homeboy? This song's dedicated. What?
you guys, you said you kind of grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know his mom, or how was that? Because I saw in the media where it appears that she may have said, at least I saw in part, that she said as if she didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Well, Nolan a lot of the times was at.
Wait a minute. I didn't hear that part. Did y'all hear that part? Wait a minute. So is Officer Tatum lying? Because to me, it was presented to me that these was his friends. But I was always saying, the way they acted, they didn't know this dude like that for real. The way they acted to the parents, the way they acted to the dad, they ain't rock with this dude for real. We can tell they didn't rock with this dude for real. Yeah, the gangster lean, for real. Ain't no nothing. They were associates, something like, yeah. They didn't associate that much. Because you were supposed to be on Snapchat, Facebook, all that, Instagram, all that night, trying to find out what happened to your homeboy you left on the island after you so-called was taking on water. Come on now. Come on. Just talk real to me. Don't this bullshit.
At like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan's house and hung out. I mean,
then you ain't his friend then. There you go. I told y'all. Uh-oh. I told y'all. That's not that nigga's friend. Them not that nigga's friends. They don't even know cuz like that. You ain't my friend if you ain't never been to my house. Nah, man, you ain't never been you ain't my friend. You ain't never came through. My mom ain't never cooked for you, or you ain't never came through and played the game and smoked, or you ain't my friend. You ain't my friend. Now it's all starting to make sense. This interview is doing a lot worse damage than they thought, because these is the questions that we was asking. They can't really be his friends. Oh no, baby boy. Mississippi and everybody in on it, cuz This a modern day lynching, cuz. They set that boy up, cuz. They set him up, fam. They lured that boy in. They fattened that boy up and led him to his slaughter. Connecticut in here, yep. Connecticut, you know what up. They led that boy to his slaughter, fam. What up, Mino? They led that boy to his slaughter, fam. I'm not trying to hear it. I knew that nigga do look like Freddy Krueger, don't he? Marino. I was thinking where that hard-faced chin look came from. He looked just like Fred Krueger. Are you serious? I knew they wasn't his friend, y'all. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, and my friend group's very Nolan. A lot of the times was at like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan's house and hung out.
Nolan was that token nigga. Sorry, cuz. Sorry. Sorry, fam. All the stuff his mom was talking about, all the stuff his dad was talking about, it's all making sense now. And I don't mean to disparage the young brother's name, but it's all coming out now. You was that, and hold up, real talk, because we know devils lie. That's if he ever really been over to their friends, but if he been over there anytime, whatever, token dude, they was probably saying nigga around Nolan and everything. Nolan did not take the signs. He ain't take the signs, fam. And that's messed up for that little young brother. Because we know he lacked that racial self-esteem. And he wanted to be cool around the dudes with the boats, with the little paper. You know, he wanted to fit in. You know. Nah. I bet you all them black dudes been over to his house, Paul. I bet you them black friends that spoke up been over to his crib. I bet you that, Paul. Super naive. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is a sad case, man. This makes the case even more sadder, sir. I don't care what y'all say. We know what we know when we know what we know. And it's all coming out. They ain't never been to that boy's house. Come on, man. To me, y'all, the Lynch theory is looking real. Katie, the bait. They take him on the boat to go deliver him. Probably couldn't get him on the boat because they didn't feel right. So they did it later on that night at the pool party. Because we just found out that the pool party, they was at another house that was close to the lake at the pool party. I'm going to play that later. But come on now. Come on now. Come on, let's this crap play out.
I mean, and my friend group's very, very tight knit. I mean, we hang out every day when we're back home from school. In high school, we hung out most weekdays and every day on the weekend. And I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, you know, there's nothing wrong.
Is it me or does this dweeb look like he on all the meth right now? Like he is. Look at them pupils, fam. Cuz is high than giraffe puss right now. Hold on, let me get that shot of them pupils. Look at that. If not, the devil trying to come out. If not, the devil is trying to come out. I made these folks devils for a reason. Oh yeah, this just solidified it all. Oh yeah. It ain't nothing you can tell me. Yeah, they was hunting. Yeah. Yeah, that hunting hat. Subliminals, for real. Very detailed. That good catch, my guy. That's details right there. Look at them eyes. Them eyes about to jump out his whole cranial socket lobe. He about to jump out there. Look at them eyes. Is he hopped up on something? I don't know if y'all can see them pupils, but them pupils look like pin dots. Yeah, Javon wasn't his true friend either, but I bet you they been at his crib. I saw you got to let me know that they ain't been in your house. Man.
I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, there's nothing wrong with that, but
there is something wrong with that if you have to say that, bro. There is something wrong with that if you got to say it, my guy. My guy. My brother. You talking about ain't nothing wrong. Y'all hear what he said? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hung out most week. Hung out. I mean, and my friend group's very, very at like my house and at my.
Because I saw in the media where it appears that she may have said, at least I saw in part that she said as if she didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Well, Nolan a lot of the times was at like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan.
So you was responsible for your homeboy then, dog.
Nolan's house and hung out. I mean, and my friend group's very, very tight knit. I mean, we hang out every day when we're back home from school. In high school, we hung out most weekdays and every day on the weekend. And I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, there's nothing wrong with that. But I met his father, and I mean, in 8th grade, Nolan.
Oh man, that was 10 years ago, cuz. That was umpteen years ago. Nigga, y'all in college. You talking about in the 8th grade. In the 8th grade? Not in the 8th grade.
I met his father, which, there's
that meth got your tongue?
There's nothing wrong with that, but
look at that boy's pupils. That boy can see at nighttime 10 miles away. Are you serious? Are you Scanerius Vongerius? This guy, man, don't this make a lot more sense though now, y'all? After hearing this dude talk, don't this make a lot more sense, y'all? Don't that make a lot more sense now? Don't you just see the horns and the wings coming out in this interview? Don't you see that? I can see it. I see it all. 2020 visiones. Don't you see that true form? And I swear I ain't never really wanted to make nobody else a devil, but I think Brandon Tatum, little Officer Tatum, I think he might have to be the first devil I do after this interview. He might be the first black devil I gotta get. He might be the next one. Officer Tatum might be the next one. I be trying to stay on code. I be trying not to, but I might have to get him. Look at that. Look at the resemblance. Do y'all see that uncanny resemblance? Look at this. And you look at this. Look, mouth even open and everything. Hey, I don't lie. Hey, I do not lie. Look at him, mouth open and everything, with like the devil spawn he is. Gonna sit up in here and tell me you seen Nolan's dad in the 8th grade. Boy, what? Come on. Come on now. Come on, dog. What's it? What's like Boo said? Come on now, dog. Straight up. You lying. Man, it would have been a hug fest. It would have been like a little candlelight visual. Y'all would have been telling story. Matter of fact, beyond that, y'all would have been begging and assisting on how you can help find your homeboy. That's what you would have been doing. The dude we knee high to a tree high. Now, I've been knowing them shit the 8th grade. We used to play GTA together. Shut up. You're lying, bro. Straight lying. This is whack, man. I feel sorry for the Nolan dude, man. Because if he's looking down on this shit, I know he's pissed. So y'all was close because y'all went to Waffle House, nigga? You ain't never been to his house, but y'all went to Waffle House, so that just seals the deal, huh? Yeah, you see the body language? This nigga went to Waffle House with him, and we was the best of friends. We got some apple butter on toast, and I know the man whole soul. Stop it. Quit it. This is ridiculous, y'all. This is straight ridiculous. For all of y'all that can't see the full screen, we got 2 different streams running. You got the vertical stream and the horizontal stream. If you want to see the whole screen, go over to the horizontal stream. There's 2 streams on the channel. Just click on my face and go to the channel and go to the horizontal one. That way you can see the whole thing. But we're gonna keep it going. You said the video wasn't playing. My fault. Thank you for saying so. I don't know what happened to said volumes. Here, let me refresh real quick. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. All right, let me make sure we can hear that joint. I'm gonna pull it up one more time. Hold on, real quick. Make sure we got some good audio.
He was I mean, this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends.
This year, this is a two-part question. I want to know, is it something that you guys typically did together, that you hang out often in this fashion? And then walk me.
Hang out around us, but never, I was never around Nolan's parents a lot, but I mean, that didn't change our relationship any. Nolan and I were still just as close, and he was just as close with my friends as, anyone else.
Y'all set that boy up on a KKK ritual, fam. You didn't want to get to know his parents like that. You didn't want him to get to know you like that. So when it came time to spring the ding, it'd be just like it is right now. They do believe in playing the long game, y'all. I do believe this is some of that long game. This that long game.
So.
And walk me through the day of 4th of July where you guys were all going out.
Right.
This seems like something that I would assume that may have occurred more than just this year.
Yeah, of course.
Was it something that you guys did more than just this year? This is a two-part question. I want to know, is it something that you guys typically did together, that you hang out often in this fashion? And then I want you to then walk me through 4th of July this year when the incident happened.
Okay. Being from the Gulf Coast, there's a boating and fishing is very, very popular. The 4th of July.
Is this nigga reading a goddamn teleprompter or something? Being from the Gulf Coast, fishing and then, nigga, we talking about your so-called friend you grew up with since 8th grade. This nigga up here monologuing and shit. I know I ain't the only one that peeped this. Well, when you're from the Gulf Coast. Nigga, get that snot out your nose.
Walk me through 4th of July this year when the incident happened.
Okay. Being from the Gulf Coast, there's a boating and fishing is very, very popular. The 4th of July, every year, my friends and I, or my family and I, are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out.
He is reading. You can tell by his little pupil eyes. He is reading cue cards or some shit right off screen. This is not genuine at all, fam. He's not talking fluidly. He's not talking from the hip. He's very careful with his words. This nigga's reading.
Horn Island, or people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and
he looked away.
He was this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends like to fish also, and like to go on the boat. Not just fishing, but like to go on the boat, like to go on sunset cruises, like to do it all, on the water.
Nigga, we didn't ask you about your pastime neither, cuz. What are you talking about? What are you even actually we like to go on the boat, and then like go fishing, and I don't know.
And Nolan loved to do that too. I mean, he was not like he was just like everyone else in our friend group. He loved to go in the water, and
he was just like anybody else in our friend group. So that means you've othered him. Come on, fam. We listening. So he was the target. He was the mark. He just said it. He was the target. He was the mark. You get like anybody else in my friend group. In your friend group? Who talk like that?
Have a good time with the guys. And that's what we did a lot. But 4th of July, everybody was out there. Like I said, like Nolan was always trying to go on the boat, trying to go out there with us. And he was always welcome to come. Nolan was always out there with us. And but started 4th of July.
So he was like the little dog to Spike. Come on, Spike. I want to go down the boat, Spike. Come on, Spike. Spike. You see how he little boy in him? He was always welcome. We never treated him like the little niglet that he was. We never treated him like a little niglet. We let him come. This don't sound like no friend.
My buddies and I had talked about this week's upcoming. Everybody's very, very excited for the 4th of July from down here. Like it's a big thing.
It's a big deal.
Very, very big deal. And I actually stayed with Nolan that night at my buddy's house, and I woke up at my buddy's house, and we went to McDonald's, got food. Nolan was not with me, and I went and got breakfast. I had my buddy's boat hooked up to my truck, and first I ran to my house, then I went to McDonald's and came back, and the boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went, topped the boat off, loaded it down with ice, and just got everything ready. Then Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach, and I drove the boat from Fort Bayou Boat Launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all planned to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who are you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we were all following each other out there as one big group. It wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear, because
there we go. Multiple boats. Told you. We was right about that. 3 boats. All right, now we get into the nitty. We know they was not his friends. We know they didn't give a good goddamn about what happened to that boy. Talk about I met his dad when I was in the 8th grade. Are you kidding me, Von shitting me? Come on, fam. That's what y'all call friends? Who that said in the comment section about, because you don't know what it's like to have friends. Are you? I know ain't none of my friends finna do that. I know ain't none of my friends finna do that, little missy. Why you talking out the side of your neck? Ain't nobody finna do that. Now we got the 3 birds confirmed. Let's go.
The statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan, and probably 2 or 3 other guys, and y'all are the only ones that went out to this island.
And that's completely incorrect. I mean, Horn Island on the 4th of July is the most popular day to be on the water throughout the entire Gulf Coast. I mean, everybody and their mom is on the water on 4th of July, There's no telling. I mean, roughly probably 2 to 3, maybe even 4,000 people out there. There were boats lined up off the island. I mean, there was 3 rows of boats all the way until my vision ended, until I could see of people there was 1 row of boats, and then there was another row of boats, and then there was a 3rd row of boats.
Yeah.
I mean, there was people lined up all up and down the island to where,
and don't nobody know nothing. Huh? Don't nobody know nothing, huh? Come on, Roscoe, go on somewhere. Don't nobody know nothing? I'm telling y'all, this is one of them lynchings. This is one of them lynchings, y'all. It's just turning out to be that way. Look at them pupils. Every time I stop it, that boy look like he done just blasted off. Like he got a bubble in that front pocket right there. Right now.
Who knows? I mean, and that wasn't just, we were parked on the north side, on the west tip. It wasn't just there. I mean, there's tons of people packed out on the south side and on the east end and in the middle of the island. But just where we were, I mean, there was easily 1,000 people. It wasn't just us.
Let's go.
1,000 people and don't nobody know nothing. Don't you find that a little suspicious? So if we're doing the numbers correctly, that's 1,000 people. 24% white males, 90% family aside. So it was 900 family asiders out there. Oh, we ain't got no chance. It was 900 family asiders and at least 600 to 700 touchy-feeliers out there. We ain't got no chance. We ain't got no chance, y'all. It's a lynching. It's a lynching. Yep. Let him keep talking himself in the hole, though.
Who knows? I mean, and that wasn't just, we were parked on the north side, on the west tip. It wasn't just there. I mean, there's tons of people packed out on the south side and on the east end and in the middle of the island. But just where we were, I mean, there was easily 1,000 people.
Somebody said, I don't see the big black guy. Well, because you on the vertical feed, Big Will, you got to go to the horizontal feed. There's 2 feeds on the channel. One is the vertical one where you can see the full screen, and then one is the horizontal one. It seemed like you're looking in the middle at the what lamp you're looking at. So yeah, you get on the big feed, Will. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the whole thing. All right, back to it.
It wasn't just us.
Let's go back a little bit. I want to go back to you guys at the dock, getting on the boat. You're saying there's multiple people, probably 20 or 30 people getting on 3 boats.
Right.
What boat were you on and what boat was Nolan on?
Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart because we had a lot of friends from college coming down, and I called Bart that morning. I was like, hey, man, can you take your boat out? And he was,
they had friends from college coming down for the Negro lynching. We gonna have a good old lynching on the 4th of July, y'all. Come on down. Come on down, y'all. It's gonna be a good old-fashioned Negro lynching on the 4th of July. Come on down. Yep. You heard it, y'all.
I was like, yeah, well, my dad's decided not to go, and I'll take the boat and I'll take you and your friends. Of course. I mean, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and I mean, I rode out there with Bart, and
also he just threw Wyatt under the bus. He just threw Bad Suit Wyatt under the bus. So now he said he was on the boat with Bad Suit Wyatt. He was on the boat with Bluebell County Fair ribbon bow tie Wyatt. He was on there with them. I just want to make sure we put in the names with the faces. That's who he was on there with, just so you know. Terrible Suit Wyatt. Yep. Anniversary of Emmett Till, all of that's in play. Yes. Yes, all of that is in play. Yes. Hold on, but there's more.
A lot of the girls that go to college with my friends and I, and Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. There was like 8 people on the Triton, and then there was 8 or 9 people on the Triton, and then there was the rest of the group, which was ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people.
That sounds just like good enough for a good old lynching. Yep. Looks like they set your boy up, y'all.
On my buddy's tide line, which is 24 tide line.
And so you guys get on, and I know a little bit more than the audience do because we went out there a little earlier because I wanted to see exactly what the drive was like, what the dock was like, how far it is out there.
Of course.
But I want you to tell, the audience, like, what was this trip like? How was the waters? Did you guys do anything in between the time you rode and the time you get to the island? Was there music? Is it like a big party? Like what is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously music's blasting. It's 4th of July, man. I mean, you know how, everybody's really excited. And I mean, we had a lot of people loaded down. So obviously our biggest, we're just trying to make sure everybody, gets out there safe. And so, I mean, on the way out there, it was pretty calm. I think it was blowing like 3 or 4 knots. I mean, the waters were clear. It was a great day to be on the water. Sunshine, not cloudy at all. And I mean, it was
Hey, dude, man, this dude's pissing me off, man. You would think Nolan didn't even die that day. The way this dude's talking, man, you would think that Nolan got a brand new car that day. What the hell is going on here? Hey, y'all, I think it's time. I think we got a lot of trolls. Oh, we got a lot of trolls. And they don't know how we get down, do they? Y'all care to show them how we get down? Do we need a roll call real quick? Do we need a roll call real quick? Do we need a roll call real quick? Come on, we need a roll call real quick. I rebuke thee in the name of. Y'all ain't gonna do it today. Y'all ain't gonna do it today. Y'all hear that? That's the sound of y'all getting up out of here. Uh-oh. Time to get the snowballs out of here. It's over for y'all because we got New Orleans in here. We got Indiana in here. We got Boston in here. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells up in here. I rebuke thee. Y'all can walk. Y'all getting clowned. Got Wisconsin in here. Connecticut in here. Florida in here. Uh-oh. We rebuking spirits up in here. Yeah, I seen them numbers go down by 50. 50 numbers went down. They can't stand it, y'all. Newark's in here. California's in here. Hey! Oh, yeah. It's time to put that FBA on them, y'all. Hey, Memphis in here. Virginia in here. Hey, Louisiana up in here. Minneapolis in here. That's right. Texas. Yee! Uh-oh. Hey! That's how you get them out, y'all. Look, let me tell y'all something. They don't like when we come together like that. Because all that crap y'all said is null and void. We got Vegas in here. We got Colorado in here. We got Buffalo, New York in here. Yeah, I'm talking about New York up in here. These is people that's all in your vicinity. Love, thoughts, and prayers from New Jersey in here. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Numbers dropped by like 100. They had to run. They did not like that. They scattered. But you know, YouTube will send another wave of the busters, and we'll deal with them. DC in here, Chocolate City and all that. You did. Hartford, Connecticut to be exact. FBA all day. Yeah, I'm talking about. Now listen, y'all not finna sit up in here and tell me that this dude is his friend. Nowhere near like his friend. Nowhere somewhat sort of kind of been like his friend. Rest in peace from Phoenix, Arizona. That's right. Yeah. You dig what I'm talking about? This dude ain't no friend. You can't tell us what we don't know. You busters.
Great day to be out there on 4th of July. And so, I mean, we followed each other out, and I mean, it was calm. It was calm. On the way back, it was a little more rough, but it was not anything all my buddies' boats couldn't handle, or like it wasn't like we were getting really beat up or anything. I mean, it was pretty calm.
And so you guys get out there. I'm assuming that you line the boats up, because I'm envisioning the picture of getting out there and there's hundreds of boats. Mm-hmm. There's thousands of people. Yeah. So it wasn't just you guys on a deserted island.
Of course not.
A few people. This is thousands of people out there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people doing what? What does it look like when you first pull up?
I pull up, and we pulled up at 10:30. I mean, it wasn't, early afternoon. I mean, it wasn't, but 10:30 is, still pretty early in the day. And when we got there, there was already 3 rows of boats lined up all the way, like I said, until I could see. And
you're talking, when you say all you can see, you're speaking about miles.
Yeah.
Of boat. Yeah. When we went out there earlier, not earlier today, but when we went out there, the island is massive.
Correct.
I mean, it's just several miles long.
Roughly 10 to 12 miles. I mean, it's.
So you think that the boats were stretching from one end to the next, or just a small area of about a mile or less than a mile of boats?
Well, I mean, I think there was boats all the way around the entire island, but I think some spots were more popular than others. Like the West Tip is usually very, very crowded on the 4th of July, and everybody knows that. So that's where a lot of people park because they want to be around other people. And the East End's a little more, there's not as many people, but there's still a lot of boats out there. I mean, it's not like every area of Horn Island was covered 100%.
Wow. So you get out there, y'all jump out. What do you do? When I say jump out, you're obviously not just sitting on the boat. The island is there. Like, what exactly are people doing there? Like, are you spending more time in the water, on the island, in the boat? Like, how is that look out there?
I mean, everybody, as soon as you get there, I mean, there's people on boats, grabbing drinks and, food, whatever else. Everybody is fully prepared for the 4th of July. They bring, all the drinks and food that they need because, they've been preparing for 4th for a little while now. But when we got there, I helped my buddies tie the boats up because the tie line was right here, the Palm Beach was in the middle, and then the Triton was on the outer side. And there was about a drop off from where the bow was. I mean, if you jumped off the bow, you were probably about neck deep in water. But if you got off the stern, you were probably waist deep in water. I mean, but when we got there, we tied up, got, bow and rear anchor set, and we tied up all the boats, made sure they were good, and everyone just got on the water. Then eventually, next thing you know, it's our group. And then, next thing you know, there's 50 other people around us. And then it just grew and grew as the day came on. And, that's just how it was. Everybody's drinking, it's 4th of July. Everyone's just trying to enjoy themselves. And, it's a big party, basically. Big party.
That's his second time intentionally saying drinking. He's trying to imply something.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students, out on the island, women. You probably had alcohol, so y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan in this? You guys out there, the friend groups are out there. 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. In a group, I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, over there. It was just a regular thing. We're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, every weekend. And I fish the islands. I don't just, fish around Horn Island. I fish around Ship Island too. So I'm very familiar with the islands. And I feel like it was just a big, I talked to Nolan, and, Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking, most of everybody. And Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and, Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James, I could tell you, I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. There was hundreds of people I knew out there. So,
yeah. And Nolan said something interesting. You told me about this. Something he said to you, I would say would be indicative of y'all's friendship.
Right.
And then he also mentioned something to you about that particular day and what it meant to him.
Right.
And could you share that?
Right. Yeah. So Nolan and my buddy Javon are talking, and I grew up with Nolan, and Nolan's just like I said, just so joyful, always happy. Every picture I have with Nolan or picture I have of Nolan, he's smiling.
I don't know about y'all, but this is not helping this nigga's case at all. This nigga talk about Nolan as if this nigga was a teddy bear he won at the carnival. Then he just told us that there was a ton of people around. Y'all just the 5 that y'all just the 5 that made yourself obvious by shutting down your social media. What you're telling us is we don't even know the other people that was around them. This is crazy. This is like the Twilight Zone, fam. Him and Officer Tatum is literally sitting up here. They damn near might as well be in a little circle jerk. When does Nolan come in? What part of the game is this? Let me bring that back some, because I was laser focusing on what this dude was saying. And just look how he's rambling on about Nathan.
And we tied up all the boats, made sure they were good, and everyone just got on the water. Then eventually, next thing you know, it's our group. And then, next thing you know, there's 50 other people around us. And then it just grew and grew as the day came on. And, you know, I mean, that's just how it was. Everybody's drinking, you know, I mean, it's 4th of July. Everyone's just trying to enjoy themselves. And, you know, it's a big party, basically. Big party.
Okay.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time.
Of
Just
course.
like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably
Right.
20-year-olds,
Right.
college students,
Right.
out on the island,
Right.
women, you know, you probably had alcohol.
Of
so
course,
y'all having
yeah.
a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan in this? You know, you guys out there, the friend groups are out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, you know, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. They, in a group, I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, you know, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, you know, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. You know, we're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, you know, every weekend. Like, I fish the islands. I don't just, you know, fish around Horn Island. I fish around Ship Island too. So I'm very familiar with the islands. And I feel like it was just a big, I talked to Nolan, and, you know, Nolan was.
It was just a big lynching, a big gathering to lynch the boy. That's what it was.
Drinking. Everybody was drinking.
Drinking. We were drinking now. Did I say we were drinking? We had some drinks. It was some drink down now. Now, you know, we had to get some drink. Drink. What, man? It was some drink. Did I mention it was some drink?
Most of everybody. And I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and, you know, Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James, Nolan, and I mean,
Ooh,
I can tell you,
right?
I mean, I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. I mean, there was hundreds of people I knew out there. So
I wasn't strictly talking to my homeboy all day. Oh no, I forget him. This ain't 4th of July. We ain't all kicking it. The dude I grew up with since 8th grade, that's always around me and my friend group. And we always treated him the same. And he was always welcome to come. I heard what you said. I heard exactly what you said. We ain't kicking around him, really. Oh, no. Yeah, what is he even actually saying, though? I swear to God, Jackie, for real, what is he actually saying? I thought this interview was about Nolan Wells. Your only black friend. You only got one. Right, Chris, you only got one. You had one assignment. Keep up with the black dude. But listen, I contend to you guys. I say to you guys, listen to me. Listen to me clearly. Y'all listen to me, and y'all listen to me damn good. It is no way in hell, the space, the universe, and any other block of time that Nolan Wells, the black football star athlete, tall, light-skinned with the big hair and the big shoulders, nobody's seen him on the island? They didn't have their eye on him the whole time on the island? Is that what you're saying? You know about these folks and black people and water. Y'all, you remember they got rid of the pools because they didn't want us to be in the pool? You remember that? You remember you can't be at your public pool in your complex without somebody asking you what apartment you live in. So now all of a sudden, he logged. You know how you go. Listen, just look. This how you know he lying. You know when you You know when you go somewhere with your folks, right? And it's a clear little view, right? Thanks for the jewels. You know how you go somewhere with your folks and it's a clear little view, and ever often, you always looking, right, to spot your people because you know what clothes they got on. Right? You be at the little jam, you be at the beach, you know what I'm saying? Especially the beach. Let's do that. Let's go, especially at the beach. When you at the beach, you always do like a little visual check. Who in the water, who on land, who doing this, who doing that. Now add that in with Nolan Wells. You telling me everybody did not have their eyes on that boy every step of his whole natural existence on that island? If it wasn't the white dude making sure his girl ain't looking at him, if it's the white girls that's not looking at him, if it's the parents looking at him, making sure he ain't approaching they little white girls, everybody had their eyes. If it wasn't the little girl's mama that was looking at the little young meat, the little cougars looking at the little young black stallion, they all had their eyes on Nolan. They all had their eyes on him. You're not going to sit up here and tell me that he was able to go get lost nowhere. You just said at the front of the boat, it was up to your knees. In the back of the boat, it was up to your waist. We seen the picture yesterday where you could be out there way far and it ain't even barely at your belly button. So you telling me my man was so hammered, drunk. You know, it was some drinks now. It was the drinks. Everybody was drinking. The fish was drinking. The trees was drinking. The sand was drinking. Everybody was drinking. And so he swam an additional 25 to 50 miles out to go test his swimming skills in front of everybody. Shut up. Or additional 20 to 30 feet out. He wanted, look, everybody, look at what I can do. I done had a couple of drinks and I'm about to swim for y'all. Man, shut up. Shut it all the way up. Shut it all the way up and down. I'm about to go out here and show y'all, boy. They call me Aquaman now. Fins and don't fail me now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What happened to his throat? Let's get to the throat. Nigga, you ain't this thing. I ain't seen Nolan none that day. That's my homeboy from the 8th grade, but when I got out there, I've totally forgot about him. I had totally forgot about him when we got out there. I ain't seen him no more. He just got gone. Cause you know we were drinking. Shut up, man. The rest of this garbage.
Yeah. And Nolan said something interesting. You told me about this. Something he said to you, I would say would be.
Look, it says he snorts in the caption. Yeah, I bet you, because that meth is burning the crap out of his nose. He just did a blaster. I bet you he is sniffing. Ain't it hot down there? It ain't cold season. It ain't flu. What you sniffling for?
Indicative of y'all's friendship.
Right.
And then he also mentioned something to you about that particular day and what it meant to him.
Right.
And could you share that?
Right. Yeah. So Nolan and my buddy Javon are talking, and I grew up with Nolan, and Nolan's just all, like I said, like just so joyful, like all.
And that's more of the reason why y'all wanted to get him, because y'all didn't want to lure a street nigga to the island. Oh no. Nope, they want to get a nice, innocent, pure, ain't did nothing to nobody, just wanted to be down Nolan. And they knew they had the leeway and the steeway. Man, Nolan, man, listen, man, Nolan dad probably told Nolan dad probably told him about these dudes, because he seemed very upset about a lot of things. He seemed really upset. Like I told Nolan about them goddamn white boys. That's what it seemed like to me. But nah, Nolan wanted to be cool with the witch kid with the boats, trying to get close to Katie. Let's not forget about Katie. Cause I don't know what y'all mean. This all making sense now. Cause remember, he was supposed to be getting up with Katie on the island. They said that he was with Katie. Katie said he was with them. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Of course, bro. Nah, she ain't gotta be fine. She just white. You know how they do over there. That's Winnie Cooper. Winnie Cooper wasn't cute either. Winnie Cooper was an ugly white girl. Tell me I'm lying. Put a 1 in the chat if you thought Winnie Cooper was cute. Put a 2 in the chat if you thought Winnie Cooper was ugly. Winnie Cooper was ugly. I do not know why Cuz was all head over heels over ugly Winnie Cooper. Winnie Cooper was ugly. Now Laura now? From Family Matters now? Uh-oh, I touched a nerve. You better not be talking about that Winnie Cooper now. Somebody, Cuz say 0. You don't be talking about my milk chocolate now. My little snow queen. Oh, y'all up in the comments representing, huh? Laura was fine. She still is cute on the middle-aged side of the game. Laura's still cute. Y'all seen their little podcast? They got a little podcast. But no, she ain't cute. She ain't cute at all. But this was the lure. Because now listen, back to this guy. How do you go to the spot? It's 4th of July and you ain't clowning out, wilding out with your homeboys? Oh, you was, just not that nigga. Oh, okay. All right, y'all. See, we get it now. He was kicking it like a mug on the island. Just not with that nigga, though. You know what I'm saying? Blair and Tootie. Blair with the, you talking about big white girl Blair and Tootie with the braces? That boy, you went back with the Blair and Tootie now. Boy, you went all the way back now. You would take Wendy over Laura? Uh-oh. Ooh, wait. Let me hear the last of this little Gump, this little Forrest Gump punk, this doo-doo chump punk.
Always happy. Like every picture I have with Nolan or picture I have of Nolan, he's smiling. I mean, like he's always happy. If I always need like a shed of light, I'm calling Nolan, you know. And Nolan and I laugh and joke a lot. Like that's how our friend group is. We're really jokingly laugh. You know, no one takes anything that serious. You know, we enjoy our time together. You know, I mean, there's never any awkwardness within our friend group. We're very, very tight. So if I ever need to get something off my chest or talk to anybody, I'm talking to all my friends. I'm not just talking to like specifically anybody. I would go out, like even if I'm having issues with something, I go talk to my.
Nah, you say that too much. You making too many caveats, fam. You Mr. Cavioli. You Mr. Caveat McGraviat. You making too many caviolis. Too many, you know, because I do it for all my friends now. Not him now, just not rolling now. I just want you to know, not Nolan. I do it for all my friends. We all the same. We all the same. Did I say we was the same? I treat all my friends the same. The same now. Don't think we ain't the same. We dead alike. Brother from another mother. Yeah, right. Me and Nolan, like two peas in the pod. That's right. Boy, if you don't shut up. Like two peas in the pod. That me and Roland now. That me and Nolan. I'm talking about I've been knowing them shit the 8th grade. Anytime I'm down. I just call on Nolan. Every time I'm down. I was down a little bit before I set him up with them folks to get murked. But I just think about his smile now. And we were drinking. Did you know we were drinking? This dude is weird as shit. This dude is weird. This didn't help him at all. You said play our song and get him out of here. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Get on up out of here. Skedaddle. Get on up out of there. We know what. Listen, y'all. Don't let these folks sit up here and gaslight us like we don't know what real friends are. Like we don't know. Like we can't hear What's the name of that music? It's a beat that I made. I'm a producer, fam. I made that beat a long time ago. In like 2008. And I never put it out. It never made to none of my albums. So I just, you know. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it in. I'm telling you. I'm getting it in. They can't steal our joy. And you can't sit up and tell me that this friend right here ain't a friend, right? That this is a friend right here. I don't know how y'all do it, but we don't do it like this. That guy was never his friend. And there ain't nothing you're going to tell me about that. Like my man say, look, after watching after getting the autopsy.
Look here, people. I think I might be more confused now after the autopsy report that came out than before the report came out.
Man,
okay,
about it.
At least all we had was speculations before it came out. Now you telling me that's all we got? See, if this was April's Fool, I could believe it.
Right.
Because I'm waiting for him to say the joke's on y'all. You know, something like that. You know, you waiting to hear, did the boy have water in his lungs if he drowned? Give us something to walk up there and pull the rug out from under everybody and say, we don't have nothing. Still, this is the worst thing that you could do in this case.
Yeah. For
everybody involved. This keeps the turmoil going on and on and on. This keeps the people running for their life. This keeps everything is up in the air. I mean, it's undetermined. I mean, he got red mark at the back of his brain. That could mean somebody hit him.
Yeah.
Did he just fall off the boat? Or do your brain go red there when did a log bump his head? Or is this something that happens when you die?
Wow.
Or if you're getting strangled?
Yeah.
I mean, what? In between two autopsies.
And don't nobody.
And then they put it out. Okay. They didn't send the throat. Now, that's kind of like, from my understanding, that's a normal procedure for somebody to keep the throat. But according to that toxicologist, he said that they keep the throat because they may possibly think something is there with the throat. But people, here we go. That's all I was hearing as I was hearing it is here we go. No answers for another, 2 years? And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. This case is just going to fade out. It's going to fade into oblivion, bruh. Just like all the other ones that fade into oblivion. These are the things that create war. Because there's no answers. Everybody's up in arms. Everybody's getting accused. No answers at all. People, again, stay level-headed. It almost makes you think that everybody's working against us, we the people. Working against the parents. Working against Nolan. Working against the boys that's being accused. Everybody that's involved.
That's exactly
we getting worked against.
That's exactly what's happening. Let it be known. That's exactly what's happening. I contend to you, sir, that's exactly what's happening. We got Secret Service Sam there with another update.
Into this autopsy. Now, the key points is the state has evidence that the independent examiner did not have access to, including the retained neck structures, any microscopic slides, toxicology, original photographs, which are very important to see the condition of the body, scene investigation, and law enforcement findings. So it's entirely possible from a forensic standpoint for the state to conclude that this was an accidental drowning. Now, the red discoloration is attributed to a post-mortem change in decomposition. There was a medical examiner who said the redness in the back of the neck could have just been pooling from him being on his back. But in the video with the two nurses, they said his body was transported face down. Now, also, I want to clear something up. The Cajun Navy is saying that he did not have a shirt on when they found him. They're saying that was misreported. But the red discoloration is attributable to a postmortem change in decomposition. There is no evidence of fatal trauma. The findings, together with the investigative circumstances, support accidental drowning. But here's the question. The second autopsy didn't receive the lungs or the throat, which would allow you to see if he was strangled or if he drowned. So whether that conclusion would be persuasive depends on how well it's supported and explained. If the report simply states accidental drowning without addressing the independent examiner's documented observations or explaining why they were interpreted differently, it is more likely to be questioned by the family, independent experts, or the public. Again, why is Stacey Turner and Mississippi not releasing their autopsy? If there's no foul play, if this was an accidental drowning, if there's water in the lungs, why not show it? This is just showing more distrust within the community. And again, with Mississippi's racist past, with Stacey Turner's past of like with Trey Reed, the person who unalived himself in the park, she ruled it an unaliving of himself. Nobody trusts Mississippi, period. It's so sad that the family had to get a second autopsy because they don't trust them. And again, why is the state not releasing their autopsy? We need more answers. Just
straight out. Hey, shout out to Jessica. I love Jessica because she ain't finna mince no words. She ain't finna bite her tongue or nothing. She finna say it exactly like it is. And if you don't like it, oh well.
They cut that boy's throat out his body, sent the rest of it to D.C. like it was a UPS package with a missing item. And then they got the nerve, the absolute nerve to call it underdetermined. I need you to understand something right now, y'all. We ain't talking about no accident. We ain't talking about no tragic drowning. We talking about a damn cover-up. If you sitting there thinking, well, maybe it was a standard procedure, then you need to get up out my comments and go watch somebody else because I ain't got the time for that shit today. Not today, okay? Not on this one. Dr. Roger, Howard University Hospital, National Medical Association president, former chief medical examiner. This man credentials longer than Mississippi whole history of lynching our black bodies. He got on Nolan's body on July the 10th, and let me tell you what he didn't get. Throat, gone. The larynx, gone. Lungs, gone. Stomach, gone. Everything that could have told us how that boy died, every single piece of evidence that could have closed this case and opened it wide for the world to see, missing. Then they want us to believe that this was standard procedure. Since when is standard procedure lose the throat of a black boy found dead in Mississippi water with white friends who lawyered up before his mama could even plan a damn funeral? Since when? Since when? I will wait. Please explain that shit to me. And don't get me started on the back of his head. They cut that boy's throat out his body, sent the rest of it to D.C. like it was a UPS package with a missing item.
Come on, man. Woo! Sheesh. I like it. I like it when it says straight down the middle. Don't play no games with them. Oh, no. Because we ain't playing no games. And everybody, all the sisters is on the same thing. It ain't no damn drowning. So we can stop that.
Drowning, they wouldn't have had to take his throat. If it was a drowning, if it was just a drowning, they wouldn't have had to take parts of his body and not return them. They even took his backside, his butt. If it was just a drowning, why didn't the medical examiners of Mississippi release the autopsy report? If it was just a drowning. If it was just a drowning, why don't we have the lungs and the organs? And we have the toxicology report? If it was just a drowning? And I want the ignorant people to know that it's undetermined because they don't have all of his body parts.
Right.
To determine what caused his death. I want you to know that. I want you to know that for all y'all ignorant people out there. I want you to know that the markings that was on the back of his head is from blunt force trauma.
Come on now.
Are you dumb?
Or is you just stupid?
Are you dumb? I thought the niggers was dumb. Are you? Oh my God. The gaslighting is elite. This is elite. Y'all ain't letting up on it yet. And then I'm going to say this. Those boys didn't go back and plant Nolan's body because they already said that his body was not in the water for long and it wasn't waterlogged. Those parents, Miss Judge, she wouldn't have sent her son back out there with a dead body to plant. They gave either the authorities that to plant or somebody that ain't even in the picture that we don't even know about. Somebody else planted Nolan's body. I want you to know that. We need to be looking for who planted his body.
Yes.
And someone who has access to the files in Mississippi said that the current was flowing backwards, which means he would have flew back, not washed up on shore.
Come on.
Oh, y'all don't want me to start. Y'all don't want me to really get deep up in this case. Y'all really don't.
Yeah, we do.
Y'all really don't. Because I got some stuff that I ain't even exposed yet. Y'all murdered that boy. Y'all some murderers. You animals. Oh my God. If it was just a drowning, they wouldn't have had to take his throat.
Man, ain't nobody stupid, man. Ain't nobody stupid, man. She's speaking. She's saying what needs to be said. It's real in the field out here. Like you're not finna just look. It ain't even just us, y'all. Hold on.
Given parts of Nolan's body, specifically parts of his neck. The independent report notes that there was an absence of anterior internal neck structures, and therefore this medical exam.
I've done hundreds of autopsies on infants, toddlers, young teens, young adults, senior citizens, obese, morbidly obese, different ethnicities, suicides, murders, accidents, natural causes. I've done them all. So when you tell me there was an absence of the interior structure of the neck, my question is why and where is it? Was it recovered with the remains, or were the remains like this when you retrieve the remains? What part of his neck is missing? Has the soft tissue been preserved, or did the water damage or anything else disrupt what could possibly be used as information to find out the cause of death? Because if his neck is missing, then what caused his injury? The structural integrity of a neck, unless it was decapitated or dealt severe trauma, should be intact. So where's the portion of his neck? The interior, the inside of his neck is missing. Why? What can cause that type of damage to the neck and then the trauma to the back of the head? Did they strike him in the back of the head and stab him? Right. Or did they shoot him in the neck? Right? And he falls back and he hits his head. In which case, in my humblest opinion, he was murdered. And the individuals who was with him should no longer be walking the earth. There is no justice, only just us. And in this situation, it's perfectly okay to embrace your Satans and enact revenge on the participants. They don't know nothing. Don't worry about it. You will not need to know anything else after I'm done with you. The only thing your people need to know is how to summon and or evoke you on your birthday and holidays. To include the parents. The boy was murdered. I've done more than enough autopsies to know the structural integrity of a human body. And very rare will there be an incident outside of blatant murder where a person takes a knife and attacks your neck to where the structural integrity of one's neck, even with a broken neck, the structural integrity of your neck is intact. Unless your head was ripped off or damn near ripped off. All right? There's people who know these things. There's people who have done different variations of this bullshit.
Right.
They killed that boy.
Given parts of Nolan's body, specifically parts of his neck.
I mean, listen, man, it's out. It's out. It's up. It is what it is.
Murdered Nolan Wells. Mississippi is covering up Nolan Wells' death. They removed Nolan Wells' throat, neck structure, his lungs, and his stomach. None of those were available when the independent pathologist examined his body. The second autopsy has already been released. The first autopsy, Mississippi, has yet to release it. Why is it taking them so long? Now you might ask, why would they remove his throat, neck structure, lungs, and stomach? It might be common to remove them for examination, but most pathologists put them back. They put them in the chest cavity, they add them in a bag, and they put the organs back in the body. Sometimes they're kept for more testing and evidence, right? But where is Nolan's? Even if they remove them and they have them, where are they? Because they removed those important organs, the pathologist couldn't do his own investigation of those organs. Oh, then there's another detail that should make all of y'all pay attention. The pathologist did a full examination of Nolan's head. He found something that the first pathologist missed. On the back of Nolan's head was a injury. The pathologist documented an area of red discoloration on the back of Nolan's head. The most important organs that were needed to determine what happened to Nolan was removed. Authorities in Mississippi told the mother an hour after they found Nolan that they believed no foul play was involved. How can you determine that and no autopsy had even been performed yet? Why didn't the medical examiner in Mississippi that was doing the autopsy on Nolan's body, the first autopsy, why didn't they put those organs back? And if you still have those organs, why didn't you produce those to the second independent autopsy so that they could look over those, so they could examine those? What are we trying to hide? This whole Nolan Wells story is about to get ugly. Justice for Nolan Wells.
Straight up. What up? What up, OG? Nightfall in here. Yeah, man. We're not playing no games. But hold on. My man said, let's not skip over this, though.
Now, we're also not going to skip over the fact that the timing was strategic in them putting out the interview of Warren Hudson, who is one of the boys who was on the boat that day with Nolan Wells and just so happens to be the son or the stepson, whatever, of Judge Ashley Cole. It is no coincidence that on the day that Ben Crump announced that the independent autopsy results were going to be made available, that this interview came out. I also just want to point out that in Ashley Cole's original statement, she said that the reason she deactivated their social media was because we live in an age of clickbait. And so with that in mind, you decided that a day after Nolan Wells' funeral and a day before the independent autopsy results were released was a good time for you to put out an interview that is clickbaity. There was also another friend whose name is Lucas Avis, I believe.
Look at that dude's ears. I swear. He looked. Whoo! That boy looked at evil, though. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit. I peeped that too, man. Y'all telling me Cuz was not jealous of Nolan in no type of way? He is a dorky, dweeb, moron, numbskull, meathead. Like, he fits all of those in whatever specific order. Is that what you mean to tell me?
An interview that is clickbaity. There was also another friend whose name is Lucas Avis, I believe. And according to him, Nolan Wells was so inebriated that he was slurring his words, which is ironic because Warren Hudson has the exact opposite account of what he saw from Nolan Wells that day. He said that he was fine. Now, again, let me remind you that Warren Hudson's mother, stepmother, whatever she is a judge. So she understands the importance of creating reasonable doubt in an investigation or a case like this, should it go to trial and criminal charges are brought up against her son, stepson, and his friends. The timing is not a coincidence. Now
I say the same thing too. I didn't even look at it like that. But that ain't that funny though? The day of the autopsy, Mr. And let's just keep it real, man. They use an officer race bait him as their little go-to little Negro to say all the little stuff that they want to say. He's such a clown. It's like, how do you sleep at night being that type of person? Probably really well, because y'all be paying him really good to say all that bullshit. I know he's caking up from saying all that bullshit. He probably just caked up from that interview. And notice that they feature in that interview on People. That interview was featured on People magazine. So that lets you know that it's not even just a statewide fix. Not even a statewide fix. It's a nationwide fix. They trying to uphold this little spiritual ritual for the 4th of July. Now I'm even way more convinced. See, at first, they did it. And the reason why it's becoming so blatantly apparent is the manner in which they're trying really hard to do things. You making it obvious, like it just has to happen. Like it's demonly ordained for y'all. Like this evil has to happen. Like something of the sort. Crazy.
Benjamin Crump, during a press conference, just presented what their second independent autopsy was results came out as. And a lot of things were inconclusive. A lot of things were undetermined. His manner of death, Nolan Wells' manner of death, was undetermined. They could not even figure out his time of demise. That is the wildest thing I've ever seen. And one of the things that he said, due to the several limitations that were presented when he received Nolan Wells' body, is that one important piece was missing from Nolan. His throat. His throat was missing. So he couldn't even figure out whether there was water.
Oh, my bad.
Water was filling up the lungs or anything like that. He could not determine his actual Nolan Wells' demise. He couldn't even figure out the cause of demise due to the several limitations that were presented and given to him when Nolan Wells' body was transferred from Mississippi to Washington, D.C., to his office, to his lab, so that he can run his investigation into Nolan Wells' body. But there were too many dead ends that stopped him from being able to figure out what actually happened to Nolan Wells. There was also bruising, allegedly, a red marking on the back of Nolan Wells' head. They say it wasn't hard enough to fracture the skull or leave a laceration, but it was there. Now people are wondering, was he hit in the back of the head and then dragged into the water? What actually happened here? We don't know. Here's the other thing. The fact that his throat is missing, some people are speculating that maybe he was suspended, if you get what I'm saying. And the thing is that, I don't see any trees on that Horn Island, so the only other thing I can think of is he went out somewhere else to like the mainland, lost his life by suspension or something like that, and then he was brought back to the island. The only other thing also is someone maybe wrapped their hands around his neck and took him out that way too. But all that is undetermined because
he got his throat.
Where's his throat? A crucial piece to this whole thing to figure out if it was dry drowning or if he succumbed to water, anything like that. All those things gone, because that body part was still in Jackson County. Is this a clerical error?
Nope.
Is this a cover-up?
No.
What are your thoughts, guys?
I got a thought. Y'all want to know what my thought is? My thought that it was this grand wizard dragon broad, Stacy Turner.
Some damn devils. It ain't no other way.
It ain't no other way, y'all. She holding on to that boy's throat. She knew that throat was going to be integral to the process. She knew that throat made a difference. Stacy Turner knew about that throat. Look at her. Stacy Turner knew about that throat. And so where's the throat now? They done discarded the throat. The throat is in a hazard bag, mushed up for the elites to munch on. You know, they do weird stuff like that. They probably gave his throat to a white person to learn how to sing. You know how weird they get on some Get Out shit. They probably gave his throat away to somebody who want to sing. You know, something weird. Hell yeah, they knew about that throat, Deb. They knew that they couldn't determine anything without that throat. How do you do an autopsy without all the parts? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Where they do that at? And it sounds like they're doing like a secondhand ass autopsy too. That's what a extra autopsy is like. That shit is secondhand as hell. He said they wanted my throat and still do. It's now a run game to the special ones. Know your worth. Straight up. Hey, on some real shit, they took DOC's throat. They took DOC's throat. This broad done took the throat, y'all. Yeah, it's just safe to say. They murked the boy. Yep. I'm a firm believer. Yep. I just wanted to make sure that I put a face with this name. So when we talk about who's responsible for this, it's her. I just need y'all to see it. Right? Now check this out. I like my girl from the Noya because I like the way she talking. She busts this down.
Big. I talked to Nolan, and Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking, most of everybody. And I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James.
Probably 20 or 30 people getting on 3 boats.
Right.
What boat were you on, and what boat was Nolan on?
Nolan was on YH-22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart because we had a lot of friends from college coming down, and I called Bart that morning. I was like, "Hey man, can you take your boat out?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, my dad decided not to go, and I'll take the boat and I'll take you and your friends." Of course, I mean, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and I mean, I rode out there with Bart and a lot of the girls that go to college with my friends and I, and
a dead man cannot speak for himself. A dead man do not have a fucking verse to be heard. A dead man cannot speak for himself. Now, of course, Warren was going to get his ass up there and say that they was drinking. Of course, because it's easy for you to say he was drinking because they make it look like as if it was foul play, it was due to the fact that Nolan Wells had consumed alcohol and he was under the influence. Now, it was allegations, and one of the friends had then said, if y'all remember, that this in particular group friend is known for doing hard substance and they known for partying like a rock star. That was said. And I'm not going to take it over, but when I saw some pictures, it looked like they had alcoholic beverages in their hand. I'm not sure. Now, let's keep on going with this. Warren said it was 3 boats of people. That's something new. Now, you say Nolan got on one boat, you got on another boat. But in between that time, you actually sat down and you talked with Nolan, right? right? And y'all was laughing and joking. It seemed to be that Nolan was okay. So with this being said, like I'm gonna tell y'all, there's a lot of fucking holes and loops in the stories, but the story is making no sense, but it's making sense to where you trying to cover up your motherfucking ass.
I was gonna play her second one, but she just too much with the MF and the MF dooms. I can't do it. I need all my ad revenue. I'm sorry, sis. I was gonna play your part too, but let me go ahead and go to this other sister. She was cooking, and I know she cussed a little less, just a little less.
Autopsy has been performed. I listened to all the information, so you didn't have to. First and foremost, Dr. Roger Mitchell Jr. was the one that performed the autopsy. He is board certified. With over 20 years of experience, you can pause to read his stat. Now, I want to be clear, we do not have the results of the first autopsy. This is the one that was performed by Ben Crump that was supplied by Colin Kaepernick. Now, first and foremost, the cause of death and the manner of death of Nolan Wells is undetermined, pending investigation. And here's a list of things of why it's undetermined. Advanced decomposition limited the examination. The second autopsy happened after the first autopsy had already been completed. Key structures and information are not available, and more information from the autopsy and the toxicology is needed. Now, here is what Dr. Mitchell did find. There were no fractures identified and no deep tissue injury, but there was a 12 by 8 centimeter area of red discoloration found in the deep soft tissue over the optical bone, the back of the head, and needs to be further investigated. Now, what couldn't be evaluated on Nolan Wells' body was his neck. For some reason, that did not come with his body to the second autopsy.
Right.
Dr. Mitchell could not directly evaluate any of those things. And here are the other limitations: airway, lungs, stomach contents, original body condition, and original toxicology. They're holding shit back in that first autopsy. And last, here are the list of questions that Ben Crump and his team still need answered. Like how Nolan Wells entered the water. What was his body position when he was found? Was there water in his airway or his lung? Is there any evidence of injuries in the anterior neck structures? Because we don't have that. Toxicology report, stomach content. With all these questions still not answered, Dr. Mitchell stated that he cannot rule out whether an intervening non-accidental factors contributed to the cause of Nolan Wells' unaliving, which means that someone could still be responsible for taking Nolan Wells' life. And until we get more information on the body, the autopsy, and the toxicology, we won't know for sure. I find it kind of odd we get this toxicology before we get the first one. What are they hiding in Mississippi?
We know what they had in Mississippi. They trying to cover up that lynching that they did. That's what they trying to do. I mean, the cat's out the bag. Cat's all the way up out the bag, my guy. They trying to cover that up. Trying to cover it on up. They trying to let the little pencil neck geeks get off scot-free. They are not going to be responsible for any death of any black person. That is not going to happen. So even when we're talking about the red joint on the back of the neck,
red discoloration. That's what they found, right? On an independent autopsy report pertaining to Nolan Wells. Now, for you people that still running around with this story about accidental drowning and there's no cover-up and all this type of shit, explain why his throat wasn't available, right? Why is his organs missing? And I know a lot of y'all gonna say, hey, that's part of the process, you know, and I get that part. But in this case, that just if y'all delivered the body, why couldn't the neck come with it? What you trying to hide, right? And another thing that I find troubling, like this the part that really fucks me up now. If these were his friends that went out there with him, right? These his buddies. Why weren't any of these kids at his funeral? None of his homeboys showed up to his funeral. The shit just doesn't sound right to me, man. So y'all just have a good day, man. Peace. I'm out.
Hey, sometimes, Unc, you know what I'm saying? You can't put it into words. I understand where Unc is coming from. It's just a little crazy. That's all, Unc. I feel you. Matter of fact, hold on, I ain't even like that video. I'm already following him. But yeah, Unc, I feel where you coming from, bros. You know, sometimes, man. I definitely see. I've been featuring Ahmadiyah Shakur lately on the program. You know what I'm saying? Despite the differences, she do be busting it down. And I got to make sure I say that every time because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I can't be fake. You know what I'm saying? I got to say it like it is. Hold on real quick. Let me get her back right.
So Ben Crump just revealed the results of the independent autopsy. Let's get into it. So basically, it's undetermined, okay? The cause and manner of death is undetermined. Now, that's because some of the body parts were missing. Of course, the organs had been removed, and as well as portions of the throat. Now, he did mention that there was a red, like bruising, discoloration around the neck, and also there was some sort of damage to the hyoid bone. Now, usually, if there's damage to the hyoid bone, that could indicate strangulation, okay? Manual strangulation, or someone being...
I thought that too. She tetheristic? What is she? Maxi Munco. Come on, man. You can't be just saying that and not elaborate. What is she then? Because I'm like, what? That's news to me. Can somebody confirm that? One of my moms or something? Is she a tether?
Hung. Okay, now I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's what it usually indicates. Okay, please pay attention. Now, of course, that's just my speculation. But with that all being said, there was also a damage to the occipital bone, which is the bone in the back of the skull. Okay, the center of the skull. There was a damage to that, possibly blunt force trauma, which, in my opinion, could have been, that someone hit him upside the head. Now, I don't know this. I'm just speculating. Okay, please pay attention. Now, they're continuing the investigation, so hopefully there'll be more conclusive answers. But also, they're hoping that the Ocean Springs medical examiner will be more transparent and possibly give them pictures, return some of the things that were removed from the body so they can get further information. I don't know if that's going to happen, but just from what I've heard about the medical examiner down there in Ocean Springs, I don't think that's plausible. Okay, please pay attention. It just clearly sounds to me like this was not an accidental drowning. If it were, they likely would have been able to determine that, just in my opinion. Yeah. But another thing I thought was interesting is the fact that Warren Hudson came out and spoke. Okay, he finally did an interview, and I find it interesting because of the timing of it all. And when he did this interview, he said that he was Nolan's best friend. Well, I thought that was interesting because I could have sworn that Javon Williams said that he, in fact, was Nolan's best friend. Okay, please pay attention. Now, in my opinion, he came out and spoke at this point in time just to probably quell some of the suspicions and accusations and finger pointing that's been headed his way. Now, again, that's my opinion. Okay, please pay attention. I was really hoping for something more conclusive so that we would know exactly what led to Nolan's death, and I'm sure we all were hoping for the same thing. But it is what it is. It's undetermined, but at the end of the day, I definitely think that there was some foul play. Okay, and maybe we'll find out more information as the investigation continues, but it seems like everyone down there at Ocean Springs is being pretty tight-lipped, okay, and they're all on code, and so we may never find out exactly what happened. But I do believe that the family, the Wonsleys, are going to be suing, okay, and I hope that they do. Okay, please pay attention. Another thing that I noticed in Warren's interview is that he seemed to be trying to distance himself from Nolan as it pertained to them spending time together on Horn Island.
I said that. I said it. Didn't I say that? Oh, that was my friend, boy. We grew up. She knee high to a tree high. But when I got to the island, I forgot all about him though. I don't know what happens. But we was drinking. I know that though. I don't know what happened on the island, but we had a lot of drinks. I told you I wasn't the only one that noticed that. Money Mike, B1 fam. I told you I wasn't the only one that noticed that. Nolan? What Nolan? I ain't seen nothing about no Nolan. But I know we were drinking though. Boy, if you don't shut it, I knew that whole interview was done.
The thing that I noticed in Warren's interview is that he seemed to be trying to distance himself from Nolan as it pertained to them spending time together on Horn Island. Okay, now he said that they both spent the night at a mutual friend's house the night before. So then he says that while he was there, he wasn't just hanging out with Nolan. He wasn't just hanging out with any one person. He was moving around. He was visiting with people that he hadn't seen in years and all of that. So it just sounded like to me he was trying to distance himself from Nolan.
And we were drinking. Don't forget there was plenty of alcohol. The alcohol was everywhere. Nolan was wasted.
Don't forget that part.
To act as though he really wasn't paying Nolan much attention and wasn't really around him while they were there. Okay, I thought that also was suspicious. But hey, what do I know?
You know, you was on point. I'm gonna have to give it to you. I'm gonna have to give it to you. I'm gonna have to give it to you. Let's go to the experts. What do the experts say about the new autopsy?
The attorney, Ben Crump, says the independent autopsy shows that the cause and manner of death of Nolan Wells remains undetermined at this time. What do you make of those new details?
Well, not altogether surprised, Wolf, by the determination by this independent coroner who did this investigation of Nolan Wells's body. I'm sure not what the family expected. I'm sure they hoped, and so many in the community hoped for some definitive answers. But unfortunately, at this point, we don't have those answers. I think what is comforting, though, to me as a civil rights attorney, and I think to so many in the community, is the level of attention that's being brought to this case, the media spotlight, the fact that according to reports, 60 people have been interviewed, and there's been a commitment from the district attorney in this community to put this case before a grand jury. There's so many unanswered questions, so many concerns about the fairness of process that would happen in Mississippi, particularly when you have an African-American young man like Nolan Wells, who died by all accounts, mysterious circumstances. But there is some comfort in knowing that it won't be that district attorney or that law enforcement agency, but there will be a investigation and presentation to a grand jury.
And Ben Crump also says that the preliminary independent autopsy ruled out there were fractures or deep tissue injuries. What do you make of that?
Well, so many conspiracy theories, so many theories on the internet, Wolf, about what happened to this young man. All kinds of stories about him being in a fight, being in an altercation. Seemingly from these findings, no altercation that would suggest, resulted in any kind of fractures or broken bones. So,
lady, we just heard the back of his head is fractured. What the hell are you talking about? Where do they birth these niggas at? Yeah, where they get these niggas at? Where they manufacture these type of niggas at? Jeez Louise. God.
Again, so many unanswered questions. We know initially coming out of this state, what we heard from the
if it's so many unanswered questions, why are you making up shit too? The hell? Talk about what it ain't. It could be everything, but you know what it ain't though. Shut up.
County coroner was that there was no evidence of foul play. And that concerned a lot of folks in the community because there was, again, so many unanswered questions. I hope that the investigation continues, as Ben Crump has said, as the law enforcement agencies in that community have said, and that we ultimately will get to some answers that will be satisfying for this family and for the entire community. Such a troubling case.
Man, the verdict is out, man. Them folks did that boy in, man. You don't take no neck. That's the cover up right there, man. That's the fish sticks in the game right there. It's all fish sticks. Gordon's. It's fish sticks. You don't, what you need the neck for? Why they couldn't get the neck? Because they knew the neck. Something was on with the neck. Ain't none of this been on no up and up. Ain't none of this been on the up and up. Just it. Why just why couldn't it be just nice and it couldn't be nice and regular because the fix was in from the beginning. Because the loose lips sink ships, and they told us from the beginning that this is gonna be I'm white and I say so. I told you it wasn't no foul play, little nigglets, and it ain't gonna be no foul play. And guess what else we're gonna do? We're gonna make sure that you're not gonna be able to figure out what kind of play it was. You little nigglets, there you have it. Now we got the neck, niggas. Now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is mad whack, B. It's mad whack, son. But if y'all think about it, it's the same principle as the people in our chat. Best believe, y'all. Best believe the way the news media works, the way the coordination between these folks, it's all been timed. It's all been, thank you, Mama, for the jewels. It's all been timed. It's all been put into place. And it's to rev our engines up, man. They trying to get the biggest rise out of us that they can. But you know what the thing is, though? It's getting to the point where somebody gonna crash out. Mark my words, y'all gonna see somebody crash. It already happened with Rodney Hinton. Remember that? Remember, it's as soon as the faucets, as soon as the trickles, the drips go, it's gonna keep going. Now, race war is quite harsh because they can't do that because they got to keep their little American persona to be, world leaders. They want a reason to deputize citizens to take us out. So they want a race war without the war. They want it to be kind of like state sanctioned. They want them to kind of like give the green light. And they kind of feel like they got the green light. That's why they acting and moving like they moving like they is right now. Thank you for the sprinkles, Mama. But real talk, though, nobody really wants the race war because you know what that means. That means life as we know it stops. That means billionaires and all of that don't make money, right? What they want is subjugation. What they want is you pesky little nigglets to just lay down and be like all the other minority groups and suck up to whiteness and assimilate and let us call you nigglets and let us brutalize you. We really want to say nigga. They really want to kind of do, they want it to be like it was like in Jim Crow. That's really what it is. They really want it to be like it was in Jim Crow, where, we was a little afraid and a little timid to, to be washed up into the system. But the sucky thing for them, though, is that they done made the system so bad, it's like, now it's like, F it. 2 tears in the bucket. Might as well go for what I know. And that's kind of pushing you from both sides, man. Never, ever has these words mean so much. Don't push me 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Ha 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 ha. That was biblical prophecies, fam. That's what rap was about, man. Trying to get it off your chest so you don't go do some madness. Before they took it from us. But that was the true essence of that. Man, look at what's going on out here, man. Before I snap, man, let me say a couple raps, man. Let me put some words together or something. Thank you for the jewels. Let me put some words together or something. You know? Said, no, we see how far from reality like you and people are just tired of just trying to keep their mouth shut about it. Yeah, they they would like it if that's the reason why they stay over here in our chat, because this is the speak out. We limit it to a sort, what I'm saying, with direct plans and actions, but what's already known ain't got to be said. And as long as we talk around, what I'm saying, what the message should be, then everybody should get it. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all so much, man. Y'all, I'm just saying how I feel, man, and about how this shit really is. And that's the reason why we got them over here in the chat, man. They think about how far we done come. You know what I'm saying? Think about how far we done come with, our racial self-esteem, and how we standing up for ourselves, and what I'm saying, getting on code and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, that's what's up. I appreciate you tapping in. When y'all tap in, make sure y'all look at the big screen version, not the little screen version. That helps a lot if you want to support the channel. I don't expect everybody to become members like my members that we got in the chat. Thank y'all so much. On the look outside of the game, if you know, you know. But one thing you can do to support the channel is make sure that you support is usually, if you look on the channel and you look at the views, the one with the most views all the time is always the one with that's the up and down one. They trying, I don't know why they don't push this one. And I'm glad I found this trick, because I wouldn't have discovered a lot of y'all, man, if I wouldn't have found this trick on how to get this message out here. I wouldn't have discovered y'all. I know a lot of y'all came in on the vertical side of the game. That's why I haven't stopped doing the vertical one, because it does help us grow our audience. But I appreciate y'all, man. I swear I do. I'm just doing what I got a passion to do, y'all. And y'all just happen to be the ones that's listening to me talk this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I hope I'm a good representative for the people. You know what I'm saying? I promise to stay true. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and cause that interview is over. She was talking some BS. Shout out to my girl Kato Ross. She is very intelligent. I have featured her many times on the program, and she always has like a thesis or an analysis to break down. She said second autopsy determined organs missing from Nolan's body.
So unfortunately, the autopsy report for Nolan Wells has come back, and what do you know? They were not able to determine a cause of Main reason being is because there were organs missing from his body when the examiner went to perform the autopsy. Now, that is a normal process for the first examiner to remove certain organs, to dissect them, to determine if there was any blunt force trauma. But it's not normal to not send the organs if you know that they're trying to determine the cause of death. It almost seems like you're trying to cover up something, because, see, the main thing that was removed was Nolan Wells' throat. With that, you cannot determine, the second autopsy cannot determine how he entered the waterway, if he was alive before he entered into the waters, or especially for somebody who can swim. That's what they're trying to determine. They also try to see if there was any blunt force trauma, and they dissected his body, his pelvic region, his face, and there weren't any bruises that they could see because of the decomposition of the body by the time they got it. What they did notice was there was blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Now, it did not cause any skull fractures or anything to that nature, but it was big enough to be put into the investigation as a cause of concern. And I'm no medical expert, so excuse my ignorance if I don't understand this properly, but they said that the area in the back of his head that was affected was 12 by 8 inches. That seems very big. And it's damning because they said that it wasn't any skull fractures, but the body was just too decomposed to see any bruising or anything of that nature. So we really can't find out what hit him in the back of the head or how or why. With autopsies, they can look at the injuries and determine exactly how and when it happened. They could find out if this blunt force trauma to the back of his head happened before or after he was ready with us or not. And aside from his throat being missing, the main thing that is strange here is the fact that they cannot determine what was in his stomach, the contents of his stomach. Because if you are in water and you're drowning, you're trying to survive, that water is going to get into your throat and into your stomach. But they don't have that to examine to determine if that was the case. So we're just left back at square one. We know that there's some foul play going around because nothing makes sense. It's just unfortunate that this family has to raise all of this money and go through all of this pain and trauma just to find out what happened to their son, all while dealing with racist people, calling them racist for simply trying to find out what happened to their son. And this is America. So
unfortunately, it's not, I know I've been covering the sisters a lot, but it's not only the sisters that's speaking up, it's the bros too. Shout out to my man Niggas Kimmett.
Autopsy report today, and listen, y'all, the findings in the death of Nolan Wells are still inconclusive. They still haven't figured out exactly why this young man is dead. They pointed out a significant area of red discoloration in the deep tissue on the back of Nolan's head. The pathologist couldn't determine what caused it, but he said it was significant enough that it needs further investigation. They also said that when they received his body, certain organs and tissues were missing, including structures from his neck. My question is, if you know there's going to be a secondary autopsy, why the hell wouldn't you send everything?
Right.
Why would you hold certain things back? I'm gonna just be real with you. This shit is pissing me off because I believe there's foul play in the death of Nolan Wells. In my opinion, this young man was murdered. I don't care what nobody says. I don't believe he drowned. Here's why I feel that way. If the evidence clearly supported drowning, then why not send everything needed for the independent autopsy? Why withhold anything? If drowning was truly the cause, I don't see why there would be any reason not to provide every available specimen for examination, especially after they've been pushing the he drowned narrative. To me, something isn't adding up. It feels like something has been hidden. It feels like there's a cover-up happening in the state of Mississippi. And you know what? Mississippi has a long, painful history when it comes to violence and injustice against black people. That's the reality that can't be ignored. And that's why so many people have questions right now. Some family and friends have told me, man, Ace, be careful. Listen, I'm on that time. I'm on that type of time. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is the truth. What needs to happen is more people need to speak up about what's happening in our communities. We need more voices. We need more leaders. We need more churches speaking out against these injustices. The church ain't doing enough, if you ask me. It just ain't. For a long time, I tried to hold my tongue. I try not to say certain things because I didn't want to disappoint certain people. I try to filter my language, but I'm past all that. Forget that shit. If the church isn't going to consistently speak up about the injustices happening in our communities, then somebody has to goddamn do it. If God is going to use me to be one of those voices, then I'm here, God. I'm here. Listen, ain't nobody going to shut me up. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep speaking up about what I believe in, the truth. I'm going to keep speaking for black people because too many folks are so focused on their own lives that they ignore what's happening in these damn communities and in these streets. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of watching injustice get ignored. I'm tired of watching families beg for answers. Listen, I'm not going to stop speaking because God is going to use me.
I feel you, bro. I feel the same way. I feel like I'm called to do this. Definitely. Man. If we talk about the impact to the community, man, like people speaking up, man. Like I don't think this one gonna blow over like they thought it was really kind of gonna blow over. I think they got an issue with this one, man. Females on it too.
I want you to listen to this doctor explain why it was vitally important that Nolan's throat be intact so they can deduce what really happened and the causing of this bruising in his back of his head. Take a look at this, y'all. This is crazy.
He had the second autopsy. Someone had Nolan's body first, the Mississippi medical examiners. The other thing that was of the greatest significance to me, almost jumped out of my seat, because I'm curious to see that hyoid bone. And he was like, yeah, I want to see the interior neck. Interior means the front of this part. And so he was like, yeah, I want to see what the interior neck showed so we can see if there's any ligatures. And so we were talking, so that was the main thing I was listening for, okay? The interior neck. And so to find that there was an absence of the part of Nolan's body that could have given us some of the most critical information, whether it, said that harm was done or no harm was done. I was looking to see the hyoid bone because had it been displaced, had it been broken, then that could be consistent with some type of a choking or pressure on the neck or an asphyxiation, okay? And then had the hyoid bone been completely intact, that would give us different information, extremely significant information. And I find it highly suspicious that very critical part of the medical examination is missing.
Jesus.
The neck is missing.
The neck is
Also,
missing.
Like I said, I wanted to see, are there ligature marks? Was there something around his neck? Was there bruising? All of that could have been answered by giving us the information of what's going on with the larynx, the trachea, all of the breathing apparatus in the front of the neck. It's missing. We need answers. This is suspicious. And the lungs.
What happened to the throat?
That's a very good question. It's a very good question. I mean, come on, man. We talking about somebody's whole throat, right? The whole throat. The whole throat, though. Like the whole throat is gone. That's crazy, my guy. Oh, Big Texton came back. Oh, didn't you get blocked before you made a new thing? What you made another one? All right, don't get kicked out. And don't get kicked out. I can't control my mods all the time. Don't get too disrespectful. They see what I can't see, boy. You're on your own out there in the woods now. You better watch your step, boy. It get wicked in them streets.
Details from the independent autopsy that was conducted on the body of Nolan Wells, and here's what you need to know. First, and I think most significantly, is they did not get the body fully whole intact. There were pieces of his body, and particularly his throat and vocal area, that were not a part of the body when the medical examiner in DC was able to review it. They were very clear to say, we don't know why, so they're not making any judgments about as to why, but they did say it's unusual for that to happen. The second most important detail is there is evidence of him being struck in the back of the head, a red discoloration in the back of Nolan Wells' head, and the medical examiner was able to say that the manner of death is undetermined. They're still not able to say what it was that took the life of Nolan Wells. I have something to say about this, and I think this is very, very important. Number one, this family deserves justice and they deserve the truth. And this is really just a pursuit of justice and truth. This is not about trying to convict people. This is not about trying to paint people in a bad light. It's simply about holding whoever's responsible accountable for this, if anyone, and finding out the truth. If you lost an 18-year-old child, you should understand how important it would be to know the truth and the details of what would happen to your loved one. The other thing is, there have been an unbelievable amount of racists that come forward, even in the comments of my videos. And they all want to say Nolan Wells died. Why are you guys going after these poor, innocent white kids? And to that I will say, whenever you are rushing to judgment to say that these white kids are innocent without having any information or details about what exactly happened or what the autopsy report would reveal, you are outing yourself as a racist, and you need to just get clarity and I hope healing. One of the reasons why I created this platform all those years ago is because I want people to be the most mentally healthy that they can possibly be. And if there's one thing I could possibly do in this world that I would love to do, it would be to eradicate racism. And I'm not delusional enough to think that I'm ever going to be able to accomplish that goal, but that's not going to stop me from trying. And one of the most important aspects of eliminating racism is to call it out when I see it. There is no reason whatsoever that people should be so biased that without any data, they're just going to say that this young man drowned and then make jokes about it, like you can't arrest water or you can't investigate the ocean, trying to imply that they just know wholeheartedly that this young man drowned. And the simple truth is you don't know. And the only thing that is causing you to say those things are your biases against people of color and your racist and bigoted views. The family deserves justice, and that's all this is about. And according to the medical examiner, the cause of death is still undetermined because there was information not included with the body, with body parts literally missing to remove their ability to assess the entire circumstances. And there are still circumstances that are suspicious, like a discoloration, bruising to the back of the head. I'll keep you updated as I continue to learn more.
Dr. Roger Mitchell said that the focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region, is significant because he cannot determine why you have that red discoloration in the back of his brain. That's significant. He also talked about, Mr. Williams, if you can, just the fact that as it's common practice, he was missing his throat when they received the body. And he wants to know why they held it back. He's not drawing any conclusions, but he said he would want to examine it if there were neck fractures or compressions to the neck. And he thinks that's significant to know at autopsy. The reason he says he would hold it back when he was medical examiner because he thought that there may have been some issues with neck fractures. The last thing that is significant is what we said before about him, the condition of his body when he went into the water. Was he conscious or unconscious? Was he forced or unforced into the water? He said those things are very significant. But he started off talking about this red discoloration in the back of his head is something that was of great concern to him.
Come on, man.
Attorney Ben.
Ain't nobody stupid, man. And Mike, I got you modded on J Lava too. So you should be good on J Lava and Keep It P podcast. And comment on the Raw too. I make sure you're good over there too in case you want to bounce around. Um, man, ain't nobody stupid, man. Ain't nobody stupid, bro. This whole thing stinks to high hell. High hell is like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do, y'all? Everybody know it too, y'all. It's not just us. For those little busters in the chat, it's not just us. Your folks know what's up too.
Somebody killed this young man. Somebody killed this young man. I'm no fucking news reporter, okay? I'm not unbiased. I come into these things with full fucking bias based on my life experience and everything that I've seen in my life. Somebody killed this young man. This is a fucking shame, and it's gonna get ugly. It should get ugly. There's fucking bullshit going on in Mississippi around the original investigation. There's bullshit going on. You know it, and I know it. You can feel it in your fucking heart. I know it in my heart too, because we've seen this bullshit before. They need to investigate and get a full statement from this fucking first medical examiner. 100%. Somebody fucking killed this poor.
Oh God, okay, old school. I know you're mad. Jeez, just the bombs after the bombs after the F bombs and the bombs. Ah, jeez Louise. And I damn near wanted to go to Kim, but she gonna say, I know she got a couple in her little repertoire, but she be spitting. Go ahead, Kim. Just try to keep it down a little bit.
Here's the thing. Could this be an accident? Could he have fallen off the back of the boat and hit his head? Of course. But why did y'all delete the Snapchat? Why did y'all delete all y'all's social media profiles? Why did y'all delete the one picture he was in? Why did y'all lawyer up immediately when it was still a missing person before you even knew a crime had been committed? All right? So that's why it was not a fucking accident at this point. Okay? That's why y'all knew what happened, because of y'all's behavior. Y'all deleted the evidence. Y'all deleted the photos that would have exonerated you. Y'all went and deleted his Snapchat. We didn't do that. That's what y'all did to prove y'all are guilty. Here's the thing. Could this be an accident?
I mean, I'm just saying, was there some lies? Was there lies? Was there lies? I don't think there was any lies. If she lied, she lied. It's either true or it ain't, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's either true or it ain't. I've been saying that from the beginning. Y'all, and especially, I'm more than, matter of fact, listen, I'm more convinced than ever today after seeing that interview with Cuz earlier today. I am more convinced than ever they was never his friend. And they set him up for whatever happened. If they didn't do it himself, if he didn't make, listen, it's because it's really only one or two things. Either they brought him to the island for Katie and her folks to get him, or they took him off the island and they got him himself. It's one of the two. It's not no in between. It ain't no, I'm not even trying to hear he fell and hit his head and slipped and bipped and boopty bopped. And no, none of that. That did not happen. You want to know why I know that didn't happen? You want to know why I know that didn't happen? Because that would have been the easiest thing for them to get off of. They would have, you think they wouldn't have got off easy for a little accidental drowning? What's a little accidental drowning amongst friends? What's a little accident between white people and they little black friend? The one that he had to reassure you was welcome to go every time, and that he treated him like every other person in the friend group that he knew from 8th grade that he only seen his father once, yet he ain't never been to his house. Best friend. Hey, listen, the way it's going down, now listen to this though, on some realness. The way it's going down, it almost seemed like, because, okay, they got a little bread, right? They got a little bread, right? Nolan's dad and all that, right? Nolan's dad is a blue-black Mississippi Negro, right? Who knows what his dad did or some of his uncles did to somebody in that town, and they wanted to make sure that they got one of his. Don't think it don't get that deep. Don't think it don't get that deep. Don't think it don't get that deep. Yeah, that ain't no friends. No type of friends they ever was. They fattened that boy up, and 4th of July was the day. 4th of July was the day it was all to go down. You heard it was a couple different boats. We only got GPS for one of them. We know he didn't drown and get pulled up on the island, because what we hear, the tide was going out. He should have been pulled way off somewhere. We know he was dropped off on the boat. Now, either the friends did it or they kicked it upstairs to the senior KKK. And they got them a right plumped, innocent little black boy that ain't never did nothing to nobody, that just wanted to be down, best kind. His heart was pure. They don't want to get a gangster black boy. They want a nice, pure, all-American football star. Notice that though. Come on, man. Like, let's stop acting like everything ain't pointing to what it is. It just happened to be a football star. Happened to be just like Carmelo. Just like Carmelo. They target the brightest, the best, the scholars, the one that's excelling, the one people that would really care about, the one that the people would feel the most pain about. Don't think this whole thing ain't even like a ritual on us. A ritual to get us emotionally involved and emotionally driven to get on out there and the way they doing it, it's enough to do that. Great kid with a great future. He's supposed to have been at training this week, getting it in, starting his new life. They knew that. Again, let's think about who we talking about. Again, let's think about who we talking about. When we talking about who could be jealous, when we talking about who would have it out for him, I just want y'all to remember these faces.
Damn devils, it ain't no other way.
It ain't no other way. Because there's some damn devils. Huh? So you know Officer Tatum was down there talking to them all. So it's probably going to be like he going to be dropping an interview every couple of days probably. Because they all sat their ass up there and talked to him. I just want to make sure. Look at that dude that was doing that interview. You think this little Fivel goes west ear ass nigga wasn't jealous of Nolan? Huh? He wasn't the slightest bit. And you ain't heard it from me, but he sure looked like he was on that stuff in that interview allegedly. He sure looked like he was on that stuff in that interview, if you ask me. If you ask me, that stuff was involved. If you ask me. That's if you just want to ask me. He looked like he was on that stuff. Hold on. Y'all believe me? Hold on. All I gotta go is to any little close-up or cuz. And you see them eyeballs? Cuz was on that stuff. Look what I told y'all. Look at them pupils. If you ask me, Lil Fan was on that stuff. Hold on, let me get back to hold on. You see them pupils? He was on that Charles Schwab. That boy was on that Johnson & Johnson. But you ain't heard it from me. You ain't heard it from me. I don't know. That remains to be seen. I don't think they told the truth to him. Real talk, he wasn't even really asking them nothing. So I think he also interviewed Wyatt too. Yep, I think he interviewed Wyatt too. Yeah. Y'all must ain't learned whatever y'all say in the comments don't really affect us yet. Because y'all be trying real hard. Y'all some real try-harders. But this sister made a parallel between Nolan and Emmett Till I thought was interesting. Check this out.
Look at the striking resemblance. My God, today. Look at. Look. My God, my God, my God. Look. Are y'all catching it? Now, This is about to bless me. If it ain't blessing nobody else, this is bless me. Because God said he's going to get this justice. And yes, I can bring God in this. Because for those people who are Christians and you are literally thinking that people are making this about race, we are making it about race because it is about race. You mean to tell me this whole autopsy situation, they don't even have all of this brother's body parts? Nolan body part. The reason why I got my blood pressure go up, the pause. Let me start with a scripture. There's 3 scriptures in particular that God, why would God need to put this in scripture? Isaiah 1:17, it tells us to seek justice. See, because people, y'all can't play with me. Y'all can talk about this white, black, blah, 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 blah. Y'all always racism. It ain't about racism. It is. And the Bible clearly tells us that there will be an oppressed people and still seek out justice because justice is what's right. Go read it yourself, Isaiah 1:17, Proverbs 31:8 through the 9th verse. Psalms 82:3. It talks about offending the oppressed, the poor.
Okay.
I got to bring my volume down. A lot of times I try to come away from conversations like this, but because of who I am, I just can't.
Right.
I just can't.
Okay.
Because righteousness is right. Righteousness. Y'all want to talk about racism? Righteousness is right. Okay. Now that I got that out my system. So the second autopsy professional, I don't know their real true position names, so I'm going to say it that way. The second one, he was unable, because of course everyone, it is out now, and everybody's trying to find out because they had to hire a second opinion. Now, I do want to say this. That judge, the one whose son, whatever, and all of this is alleged, is known in Mississippi. Sources say, okay? And I'm going to say sources. Sources say that she's known for literally falsifying a lot of autopsy reports. Now, if that got all the way to me in Wisconsin, sources say, and I'm not making just a,
She's not making that up though. I done we on this program we done covered her a couple times, man. Like other cases, like just one recent hanging of a black man. She just said that a black man jumped up in the tree with his hands behind his back and hung himself, and that was a suicide. So yeah, like it ain't like they're just making it up about this demon broad. She's a real life demon. And people like, well, that's slander. Why you making it? Nah, she deserve it.
Some damn devils, it ain't no other way.
It ain't no other way. Every time she's referred to, I want y'all to make sure y'all remember that face. Cause this is who sent the body without the neck. It was her. It was her. She sat up there and sent that boy without no neck. Knowing damn well that the neck was the most crucial part. You think she didn't know that? She handles all the state medical cases. For the whole state. She oversees the whole state. Not just one county, not just one city, the whole state. That's Stacy. That is Stacy. Fire breathing devil Stacy. Huh? You said, where's it? Huh. That's what I'm saying. Said such a wicked act as a woman and mother. Does she have children or a family, or she just a rock hate, a vile disease hate and racism to value disease? Man, that's if she do got kids, fam. We need our song real quick. Nah, I ain't seen him get too reckless. That is an evil person, Angie. That's why I depicted her like that. I knew what was going down. It is obvious, super obvious. Man, we allegedly, I feel that, but allegedly we know the truth too. Yeah, this is all alleged. Alleged in their ass. Allegedly that. I'll tell you that. He said, when they do get Nolan's other parts, I hope they check the DNA to see if it matches Nolan's. That's a good point. No professional courtesy. Why not work with the independent doctor? Exactly. So what do we need to do as a community? Stay on their damn neck. Because soon as we die down, it dies down. Because we still dealing with a criminal investigation. Let's not forget that. People still need to be subpoenaed, questioned, and all of that. Somebody still need to go to jail. Let's not forget about the cell phone, the alcohol on the boat, the leaving your passenger behind as the captain. Something still need to shake. So it ain't over. Why was he face down, fully loaded? He was cut. He was out there swimming, right? They left him on the island. Where did he get the clothes from? Good question. They did slip up and say that. Who is she? That's Dr. Stacy Turner, the chief medical examiner for Mississippi. The one that's responsible for sending Nolan to the independent autopsy without his neck. What up, Greg? Yeah, she the one responsible for sending that boy without his neck. Well, technically, Angie, they are unable to do the full autopsy because they're missing vital parts, like his neck. His whole damn neck. And then they didn't already remove the organs, so they can pretty much just only go off pictures of that. They don't get to check out the stomach contents and all because they removed his neck, which probably mean they had to remove his esophagus as well. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, I'm full of crap. Yeah. You just don't like that your people up here in their true form. Lism, that's your problem. This really bothers you that we see your people for who they really are. I even wrote a song about it.
Damn devils, it ain't some damn devils, it ain't no other way. Y'all some devils, ooh.
Y'all some devils, ooh. Y'all some devils. You don't like that, do you? Well, her and everybody involved that knows something about Nolan Wells is a devil. No, I'm at Warren, Katie show enough a devil. Eric show enough a devil. Warren show enough is a devil. Eli Jax is a devil. Morgan Seymour is a devil, and we already know that his mammy for sure, Ashley, she a devil too. All of them. And if you don't like it, well, if you ain't white, you white adjacent. Still devil. So allegedly she didn't see. Nah, she didn't see that. Yeah, that's the devil that kicked it off right there. With the statements and all that. But look here, look, for all of y'all that's still following, I am going to it is 4:30. I think I'm gonna come back at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that. Because I got another stream on another story on some other things. We didn't cover we didn't got Nolan Wells out the way twice today. I got something else I need to talk about a little bit later, so I'm gonna need y'all to join me. We going in. You understand what I'm saying? When you come back though, right? If you on the horizontal one, you know, the one with the picture up the top and the chat at the bottom, I'm gonna need y'all to come over here to the big screen with the wide angle. Come over here to the wide angle. You know what I'm saying? It's the vertical one that get y'all in here. It's the wide angle that help out the channel a lot. But other than that, I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being on code. And you know, I got 4 words for you. I need you to go ahead and subscribe for the vibes, like for the spike in the algorithm. Make sure if you really rocking with me, come back to the video and put a hype on there. You only get 3 of them a week. If you can spend 1 or 2 of them with me, you know that'd be cool. Hype that thing for your boy. You already comment your vomit, but I'm gonna need you to go ahead and share if you care about getting Black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on that platforms that you are on, Jones. And just to bring it all the way home, I got love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm out the Doha for Shoha. You already know. Yiggity.